Hi friends, let's do a little practice. Grab whatever props you need and let's begin sitting today. If you want to sit up on something, you might grab a blanket or cushion, and we'll start in a comfortable cross-legged position with eyes closed. Take your time settling in. Begin to slow down your breath. Just feeling what's right here. Whatever you notice in your physical sensation, your energetic level, mental, emotional state. Letting whatever you feel, whatever you find, be the perfect place to start your practice from. And you can let your eyes open, keeping a soft focus. And feel free to open and close your eyes as it's useful for you throughout the practice. So let's start by taking right arm up. Bend it straight back on itself. Grab your elbow. And then take it back as far as you can. And as you do this, you might drop the ribs, draw the belly in. Just feeling what it's like to be in your body in this shape. Let's release. Right arm up, open it out, and then take it across, hooking with the other arm. Bring it in as close as you can. As you do this, also draw back through your right shoulder so you're still square across your chest. And you might play around with how closely you're hugging your arm in. So going right to your edge of what's possible. Feeling this. Let's release, arm out, rotate your thumb to point down, bring it around behind your back, so back of your hand is at your waist. Interlace fingers at your waist, pull the knuckles around, and then elbows go towards one another. Let's circle the right shoulder, just putting a little movement in a place that might be creaky or tight here. And then keeping fingers interlaced, reach both arms back and fold forward any amount. Could be just dropping your head, might be coming part way or all the way to the floor. Breathing into this shape, feeling right where you are right now. Let's release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. And then roll your way back up. And let's recross the legs, so the other leg is in front or on top. We'll take the left arm up, bend it straight back on itself, grab your elbow, and take it back. As you do this, drop the ribs, draw the belly in, and feel free to shift around, adjust, noticing what you notice here. Release, left arm up, open it out, take it across, hook with the other arm, hug it in as close as you can. As you do this, pull back through your left shoulder. Can you still feel what's touching the floor? Still lengthen up away from that. And then release, arm out, thumb points down, wrap it around. This time when you go to interlace your fingers, try the other thumb on top. Elbows go towards one another, and then circle your shoulder. It's putting a little movement in a place that may be creaky, waking things up. And then both arms reach back, fold forward any amount. Let's release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. And then roll your way back up, still holding the knees. Pull the chest through, come to an upper back arch, keeping the back of the neck long. And then round back, bring your feet to the floor, hip width apart, and hands to the backs of the legs. Put a little pressure up on the backs of the legs to round even more. Belly pulling in, chest sinking back, chin dropping. And then roll up from the base of the spine to arch back, but also lean back. So now abdominals are really working to support you, and we'll go back and forth between these two positions. Exhale, round. Inhale, roll up and arch. Exhale, back. Inhale up. Exhale, back. Inhale up. Now, exhale back, release your arms and come down a little lower. Inhale, same arch, but arms come by the ears. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. And then inhale up, and we'll hold this last one. So lifting up as high as you can, and you can choose how much you lean back, how much you lift the chest, working what's needed, 100% effort, but softening what's not needed here. Release, round back, holding here. You can choose how low you go. Isolating tension where it's useful, and then finding ease. You can relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, keep the breath steady. Let's release. Cross the ankles, shift your weight forward, and let's come all the way into a high push-up position. Setting the hands shoulder width apart, connecting the whole body in a straight long line. Shift your weight forward to lower down, low push-up. Feel free to drop your knees. And then come into your back bend. Cobra or up dog, as low or high as feels right for you. Feeling what it's like to be here. What are you noticing? And then back to down dog. Hips high, take your time waking up in this shape. You might pedal out your feet a little bit, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor. And then drop your knees and sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels, forehead to the floor. And just a reminder that you can rest anytime, whether you rest in this shape or a different one. And when you come back to your rest, that could be a good place to reestablish your slow, deep breath. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left. And then pull back through the right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. And back to center. Let's lift up through table. Come back through down dog. And then walk your hands and feet towards one another to hang in ragdoll. Feet hip-width apart, parallel. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. You can let your arms just drop, link elbows, or use a little support through your arms, resting elbows on thighs or hands on ankles. Bend your knees a little more and slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing. Let's step up to the front of the mat. We'll bring hands together. Feet can be together or apart. Come into your mountain pose, Tadasana, drawing the energy up all the way past the top of the head. Full A-series sun salutation. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen, partway up. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. And please take the time you need for all your transitions. Here we'll rest in down dog, or you're welcome to come back to child's pose or sitting or onto your forearms. Any neutral shape. Settling in. Last deep breath in and out. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. This time from down dog, take your right leg up to the ceiling. Bend your knee to your chest and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint. Feeling what you're doing. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight. Circle your ankle a couple times, big circles, both directions. Take your leg a little higher and then bring your right knee towards right upper arm. Extend it up and back. Take it across towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. All right, towards the center of the chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward, high lunge. Inhale, arms up. Settle in. Sink low. Grab the left wrist. Take it across. Little side bend. Come over to the other side. Grab your right wrist. Take it across. Back to center. Interlace fingers behind your back. Lift the chest. Release arms up. Tip forward, standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. We'll do this with hips square and with the upper body letting go. Like ragdoll, let your head hang. Last breath here. Big step back. Warrior one. Settle in, sink low. What's lifting, engaging, expanding? What is there to drop, release, ground? Last breath here. Release hands to the floor, or you may want to grab a couple blocks for pyramid pose. We're going to straighten the front leg part way or all the way. You're welcome to take a little step in, shortening the distance between your legs. And if you don't have blocks, you could use soup cans or books. And if you don't have anything, you can use your hands on your shin. Going in the direction of hips square, in the direction of a flat back, in the direction of folding, meeting your edge and breathing there. One more breath. Let's release. Make your way back to down dog. So you might take a vinyasa, you could just step back, could move in some other way. Feeling what you're choosing to do, whatever that is. From down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up, bend your knee in, and start circling. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a couple times in both directions. Reach your leg a little higher and then left knee towards left upper arm. Send it up and back. Take it across towards right upper arm, and it doesn't have to reach, just go towards. Up and back. Now towards the center of your chest, working core strength. Reach it up and back. Big step forward. High lunge. Inhale, arms up. Sink low. Let's grab the right wrist, take it across. Come over to the other side, grab your left wrist. Back to center. Interlace fingers behind the back, other thumb on top. Release arms up. Tip forward. Standing splits. You may want to grab blocks or bend your supporting leg or both. Trying to keep hips square as you reach that back leg longer and longer, and let the torso release. Head release, face release. Last breath. Step back. Warrior one. Last breath here. Pyramid pose. Hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. Feel free to adjust the distance between your legs. Go in the directions you know to go in. And then feel what it's like to be here. Last breath. Make your way back to down dog. And then settle into a good rest. Could be child's pose, could be sitting, could be down dog, something else. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Let's take just the right arm up as we inhale this time. Exhale over to a side bend. The left arm can provide a little support. Really reach through the fingers, legs strong. You might even lift your toes to engage the arches of your feet a little more. Reach a little further out to come up. And release down. Same thing, other side. Reaching long through the fingers, but shoulders dropped. Reach a little further out to come up and release down. Let's interlace fingers, press out through the palms, take your arms up by your ears, shoulders drop, arms reach straight, and then rise up onto your toes for a little balance. Could be just a slight lift of the heels. You might come all the way up. While you're concentrating on balancing, can you still take in all the details of this shape? Start to fold forward, swan diving down, staying in balance on the toes. You can bring your hands to your legs wherever they meet. Might be the upper legs, could be the lower legs. Some of you might even reach for your ankles or heels, breathing the whole time. Let's release. Drop the hands, drop the heels, drop your head. Let that go. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Hips low, head high, belly lifting, pelvic floor lifting, arches lifting. One more breath here. Release, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Inhale, arms up. Let's interlace fingers behind the back. Lift the heart. And then try warrior 3 with fingers linked. So we're going to shift weight forward. You can take this as gently as you like. You might keep the left foot really low and just connect the whole body. If you do want to tip forward, make sure the torso and back legs stay connected. Supporting leg can be bent or straight. Reaching forward through the top of the head so the back of the neck is long, following the line of the spine. Last breath here. Step back, warrior 1. Release through a vinyasa or your movement transition. Left leg sweeps up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Interlace fingers behind the back, other thumb on top this time. Lift the heart, and then shift forward, warrior 3. So you can modify, take the outer shape that suits your needs, and then feel what you're doing right here. Last breath. Step back, warrior 1. Release through a vinyasa or your movement transition. Settle into some resting pose. More important than the shape coming back to a quality of ease. Like settling into a meditation or remembering that your whole practice can be a meditation. It's just in movement as well as stillness. Last breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up, inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Again, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Let's come into a twist here. Left elbow crossed to the outside of the right knee. Take your time getting it over there, and then work the palms towards the center of the chest. If there's a different variation of this, you are welcome. You might drop the back knee and do a low lunge. You could take a different arm position. Last breath here. Release hands to the floor. Step up for half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Rolling open through the left hip, rolling open through the left shoulder, and extending left arm high. Bottom hand could come to a block. You could bend the bottom leg. We're going to move from here to revolved half moon. So you might even come through airplane. So starting to lift the right hand. Square off hips, square off chest. Keep the hips square. And then left hand comes down either to a block or the floor. Going in the direction of straight long lines. Last breath here. Release, step back, pyramid pose, getting set up for revolved triangle. So we're going to square the hips, set the left hand either on your foot, ankle, or a block, either on the inside or outside of that front foot. Right hand can start at the lower back, helping to feel our hips square, maybe draw back through the right hip a little more. And then right arm high. This is a pretty complex pose. While you're here, how much can you feel? Feel your breath. Last breath here. Release. Make your way back to down dog. Just taking one thing at a time. Feeling right where you are right now, and then when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Come into a twist here. Right elbow across. And take whatever variation you did on the other side. So if there's a different one you took, you might do that again. Last breath. Release, hands to the floor, step up. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So you can only know what you know, and you can only do what you can do. So doing your best given what you understand and are capable of doing. And then the real work is feeling what this is like, letting it be. Can you find ease even when it's like this, however this is? Revolved half moon, you might start to lift the left arm, squaring off, lower the right arm. Hips are square, going towards a straight line from one arm to the other. May not be straight, just go in that direction. Straight line from your head to your back foot. Last breath here. Release. Step back. Pyramid, getting set up for revolved triangle. So right hand either on the foot, ankle, floor, or block. And block could be on either side of the front foot. Draw back through the left hip. Left arm high. Last breath. Release. Make your way back to down dog. And then into a good rest. Let's come back through down dog and get set up for a pigeon pose on the right side. So from down dog, we're going to slide the right knee forward, scoot back through the left leg, help the hips get as low as they'll go, and then see if some support would be useful. You might prop up the right hip with a blanket or block. As you fold forward, you might try something under your chest or forehead. You could rest your forehead on your hands. Is there any unnecessary gripping or holding that you might release? Could you relax your face even more? Let's bring the upper body back up. Now we're going to transition to half hero here. So if you have something under your right hip, move it out of your way so that you can lean to the right. We're going to slide the left knee forward. So you can move your right foot out of the way enough so that your left knee can point straight to the front of your mat and left toes point straight back. Now if this is too tight for your ankle or knee, a little lift under the hips can make it a little less tight, a blanket or block. And if it's the ankle that's tight, rather than flexing it out to the side, which torques the knee a bit, have it point straight back, but pad it. Rolled up socks, a towel, part of your blanket under there could help. Once you have the props that are useful for you, lean back onto your hands, pick up the hips for a moment, and tuck the tail, releasing hips back down. So you start to direct the stretch into the quad and hip flexor. You can stay on your hands. You can experiment with coming lower. You might come to just the right elbow, could come to both elbows. You might come all the way back. But notice if you go too far too soon, you might release and start to overarch the lower back. So stay where the lower back can be long and the front of the hip can be open. At any point, you might bring the torso a little higher up or a little further back. And if none of this is working, because it doesn't work for some bodies, you could lean onto your right side and take the left leg back in a different way with a little less pressure on the knee. Keep directing the stretch from the hip to the knee. To release, let's lean to the right. Straighten that left leg out and then give a little rub to the knee. You might circle the ankle or give a little rub to the ankle. And we're going to fold over this straight left leg. So you can bend the right foot in to the left inner thigh. Adjust the torso so it's lining up over the straight leg. And then fold. You can use your hands wherever they're going to serve you. It might be both hands at the foot, it might be both hands on the floor, or a strap around the foot, or some combination. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. Take a seated vinyasa or some movement transition to release what we've done. Get ready for the other side. Just kind of notice the difference on the two sides. Feel how it is to be here. And then when you're ready, left knee forward, pigeon pose, left side. Scoot back through the right leg, helping the hips get as low as they'll go. Set up support, if support is useful. A little something under the hips, something under the forehead or chest. Releasing. Let's take our time coming back up. If you have props under your hip, move them out of your way so that you can lean to the left. Slide the right knee forward and then adjust into half hero on this side. So you might roll your calf out of your way. Make sure that the right foot points straight back. Add support if support is useful, or take that alternative pose on your left side. So lean back onto the hands, pick up the hips, tuck the tail, and release them back down. Then test the waters. Do you want to stay here? Do you want to go deeper? Maybe just to one elbow, maybe to both elbows. And keep directing the stretch from the hip to the knee. Sometimes knee pain is caused by tight quads, but then when we go to stretch the quads, there's knee pain, so it can be tricky. So we want to keep opening up space at the knee by bringing the stretch from the hip flexor down. At any point, you might go a little lower or come a little higher. Continue tucking the tail. If you don't feel a stretch, try tucking the tail more. To release, lean to the left. Straighten that right leg out. Little rub to the knee, ankle, maybe circling the ankle. And then adjust left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh, Janu Shirshasana A, squaring the chest towards that straight leg and folding using your hands where they're going to best serve you. And you shouldn't be able to fold any deeper than you can fold. Going in the directions you know to go in, meeting your edge, and then practicing acceptance and ease in however this is, however it looks, however it feels. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. Let's make our way to down dog. The transition can be a little movement to integrate what you've done. Come all the way through to sitting and back onto your back. Let's bring the knees in and take a little circle or rock. And we'll drop the feet to the floor for bridge, feet hip width apart, parallel. Press your feet down, lift your hips high. Once your hips are high enough, interlace your fingers behind your back, shrug your shoulders underneath you, spreading the upper back and lower back away from one another. Doing all the work that's useful to be in this shape and letting go what's not needed here. You can release, take your arms out of your way, roll down, rest with back flat. You're welcome to take another back bend, many more back bends. You're welcome to move on to a counter stretch, happy baby, a forward fold, something else. We are gonna make our way to Shavasana. Get ready for our final resting pose. So the next couple of minutes can be a time to wrap up your practice in the way that feels good for you. You can just see what's needed. Maybe there's a pose you like to get in at the end of every practice. Maybe there's something you're working on or some part of your body that could use a little extra attention right now. And if nothing else is needed, you can start getting comfortable. You might adjust your clothing, adding layers. You might grab props, a little support under the knees or something to cover up with. Could finish with a little self-massage in some way. Whenever you're ready to settle into your final pose, your final rest, you can let go of the control of your breath. Let the weight of your body just drop. No effort. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your wrists and ankles. And then stretch out through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in. Roll to one side. And then use your hands to help you up to sitting. Bring hands together at the heart. Just taking a moment to silently thank yourself for your practice. And letting that feeling of gratitude expand out as far and wide as you'd like. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks for practicing with me today. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.